I'm Paul, Apex Mindset. I just wanted to plug very quickly 2 courses on pickup. They're going to help you utilize both dating apps, Instagram, as well as in-person pickup and game. One course is by my friend John over at Modern Life Dating. He's putting his SALT course out. Link will be in the description. Enrollment is going to be closing soon, so I would enroll tonight if you're interested in that. The other course is from my other friend from Unplugged Fitness, Myron Gaines. Link will be in the description from that. It's also a game, and I think utilizing social media to pick up women. I've had a chance to see John's course, and it's very good. I haven't seen Myron's yet, but I know that Myron's skills are very good. I would trust anything that he puts out. I don't have a course out yet, so that'll happen in the future, hopefully the very near future. That being said, the direction I'm going for some of the courses I'm going to put out are probably a little advanced. At the end of the day, if you don't know the basics of getting women on dates, then none of this stuff that we talk about will apply very well, right? And both of these courses will cover those basics very well. Which one should you take? Well, if you can afford to, take both. Otherwise, I would just go to their YouTube channels and just check them out and see who you like better, see what kind of gravitates towards you the most, and just pick one. Maybe pick one now, pick another one later. But I have my affiliate link in the description. I ask that if you are going to take the course, that you use my link. It lets these guys know that you support my channel. I'll be over at John's course. I'll probably do like I did last time. I did an hour-long presentation on frame control. I'll probably do something like that over there. That hour-long presentation turned into about almost 3 hours because I stayed on and answered all your guys' questions for you. So if you guys are struggling with getting dates, or you just want to get better at getting women on dates and getting higher quality women in your life, either of these courses are going to be good for you. So just check them out, please. And again, my link's in the description for the sign up. All right, we're going to talk about safe world theory. I'm Paul, Apex Mindset. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, get on my email list. Link is in the description. So here's what tends to happen in these spaces. These guys believed in this blue pill fantasy, and that was their safe world theory. And if you try to violate a guy's safe world theory, or anybody's safe world theory, man or woman, that'll often be met with a visceral reaction. You try to explain some of these concepts in the wrong social circles, people respond with a visceral reaction. They get mad. If I say something like notch counts can ruin an ability for a woman to pair bond, this is scientific truth, but if I say that in the wrong circle, for examples, that violates the safe world theory of a lot of men and women. Blue-pilled men need to believe that, okay, yes, my girl slept around, but she loves me for me, so she can definitely pair bond with me, so I can make this an investment and everything's fine. And then when you say something that violates that safe world theory, now they can't function in the world anymore safely and without anxiety if they were to believe that what you're saying. So they respond in a visceral reaction, a knee-jerk reaction. You see this in politics and political arguments and discussions all the time. People cling to these ideas, and then as soon as you violate those ideas, they freak out because they need these ideas in order to wake up in the morning and function in the world and not have a bunch of anxiety. You see this in religion all the time. I mean, it's not to discount religion, but it is the case. People will cling, whether it's their atheism or whether it's their dogmatic particular religious sect, they will cling to these ideas. And as soon as you challenge those ideas, they get really upset with you because these ideas are something that they need in order to wake up in the morning and function without anxiety. That is their safe world theory. So you see it in religion, you see it in politics. Someone doesn't like Republicans, doesn't like conservatives, doesn't like Democrats or liberals, and you say something, you're trying to be objective, and something you say, let's say, doesn't fit comfortably into one camp or the other, and something you say might violate their current worldview, well, they have their political views as part of their safe world theory. So they can't wake up in the morning without anxiety unless these things are fundamentally true for them. So they fear challenging any of these ideas. Having a safe world theory is weak. Having a safe world theory is beta, if we're going to put those terms on it. There is nothing that is safe out there. There is no certainty. A strong person, an alpha, someone who's truly alpha, is outcome independent. That means that they don't cling to a safe world theory. Certainly an alpha male will have beliefs, but if those beliefs turn out to be untrue or wrong, or if things don't turn out the way that they planned or thought, being outcome independent is having confidence in your own abilities to be able to make those adjustments and come out on top and be successful. To be able to navigate the world that's relatively chaotic. It's not to say there's no truth out there, because there's certainly lots of truth out there, but how that truth gets applied or shows up and how people react in the world is what creates the chaos. That's what creates lots of uncertainty, right? And so you're dealing with probabilities with anything, particularly the sexual marketplace. You're not dealing with certainty. This makes a lot of guys uncomfortable. And so what happens is guys get burned in the blue pilled world and they come over to the red pill. But then they turn red pill concepts just into their new safe world theory. They cling to ideas and sayings and beliefs, some of which may be more productive than blue pill fantasy, but a lot of times the way that they look at these ideas are fantasy as well, because they're not really understanding the concept or not really looking at the concept in the right way or applying it in the right way. A lot of you guys listening to me right now, and a lot of guys who are in these spaces, you learn a few things, and that becomes your new safe world theory. Look, I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care if you call yourself any pill color, okay? I just want you to have the information and the truth and to be able to apply it correctly, whatever that means and whatever that you want to call that. But more importantly, if you come into my channel, I want you to be what we could, for lack of a better term, I want you to be more alpha. If you're a man listening to me, I want you to be more masculine. I want you to have more alpha traits. Having red pill knowledge is relatively useless, in my opinion, if you don't know how to apply that knowledge. And more importantly, if you don't know how to show up and be that masculine alpha man that each one of you listening to me can be. Because each one of you are a product of 40% of the most dominant males in history that mated. 60% of men never even got to mate, okay? Hypergamy weeded out the gene pool. So generation after generation, only the most capable men, even with all their flaws, okay? Only the most capable men were able to mate. And that's been going that way for a couple 100,000 years now. So you guys are all a product of the most dominant and most mateable men in history for several generations spanning over a couple 100,000 years. So in your genetic code, every single one of you, I don't care how weak you think you are, and that includes other guys that you see and observe out there. I don't care how weak they appear and how weak they act. In their genetic code, even though they may not have been exercising it, there is an alpha male in there, okay, somewhere. And it's just a matter of tapping into it. And when you come to this channel and you're a man trying to figure out and navigate the sexual marketplace, I am imparting with you masculine and alpha traits, not just imparting with you some knowledge about female nature or what we call red pill knowledge regarding the sexual marketplace. Because here's the problem. If you cling to a bunch of knowledge and newly found knowledge on what female nature's like and what the sexual marketplace is like, and you turn it into your new safe world theory, well, you're just going to apply it in an unproductive way and be just as unsuccessful, in some cases more unsuccessful, than you were when you were blue-pilled and following a bunch of fantasy ideas. You're not going to apply the stuff in a manner that's going to work well in your life. Learning things about female nature, especially the savage aspects of that, is meaningless if you can't apply that knowledge in a way that's productive. And you see it all the time in these spaces where guys go, they take that black pill route, they get really nihilistic, and they stop having anything close to a productive relationship or interaction with the opposite sex. At least when they were blue pilled and following a fantasy land, they had some good times with women, right? And now, of course, they're on a telling themselves, of course, well, I got the truth now. They're taking that high road of I'm more knowledgeable now, and all these other plebs around me, they don't have my knowledge. They don't know what they're doing. Well, a lot of those plebs around you are having at least stints of happiness with women. Maybe it's just during honeymoon phase or during little small periods of a blue pill marriage before it goes south, but they're at least having some experiences. Some of you guys sitting back there aren't having any. And again, it's because you're clinging to the safe world theory. You'll take a red pill concept or whatever, one that's true, but you'll apply it in a way that is only really just you trying to avoid damage and trauma again. It's done out of fear. It's done out of fear that you're going to wake up one morning and look in the mirror and see that you're that beta guy who isn't a good genetic option for anybody, and that you're always that way, and that's the way it is all along. It's this fear you'll slide back into beta behaviors, this fear that your blue-pilled conditioning will take over, and so you cling to a new safe world theory. Well, newsflash, that's not alpha, and it's not productive. That safe world theory you're clinging to is what causes you to have a visceral reaction when someone like me tells you things about the sexual marketplace you haven't heard before that don't quite fit with your previous ideas. It causes you to have that visceral reaction, that knee-jerk reaction, almost like we're in a political discussion now. It brings up a lot of emotion for you, right? Instead of you being able to look at the information objectively. Now that's a good sign you're clinging to a safe world theory. So you've come to my channel because you want the truth and you want actionable advice so you can have better relationships and better experiences with women. I'm telling you that in order to do that, you have to abandon this idea of having a safe world theory, okay? You need to abandon the idea that these concepts that you're getting in the red pill community are going to keep you safe and secure and are going to guarantee that you're not going to get burned, we'll say, in the sexual marketplace. You need to stop making decisions and following ideas out of fear. And you need to start getting better skill sets. If you have really good, top-notch skill sets with women, and you have an understanding of these things without clinging to ideas, but actually have an objective understanding, you know how to action that information, women can't hurt you. Not anything more than a temporary, maybe, situation. Very temporary. Women can't damage you. They can't hurt you. Relationships can't harm you. They can't create trauma for you if you have the skill set to not allow that to happen. You need to accept that all the bad stuff that happened to you with women were a product of your own decisions and your own lack of skill, as much as a product of what these women did. I'm not saying that you deserved it or any of that. Like, it's not about that. But what I'm saying is, if you had better skills and a better understanding, then those things that happened to you in the past, those situations that didn't work out with women, the pain that you went through, that wouldn't have happened, right? Clinging to a safe world theory isn't going to prevent that stuff from happening. Having better skill sets, that's what's going to keep you safe, more or less. And there are no guarantees. And being comfortable with the fact that there are no guarantees, and being comfortable with chaos, and being able to operate in chaos, that's what's going to allow you to be successful. That's what's going to allow you to move forward with experiences in the sexual marketplace in a manner that's fearless. Some of you guys, with your comments and your emails and the things that I hear you saying, you're riddled with fear. And you're clinging to ideas because you hope those ideas will keep you safe. And anything that deviates from those ideas that someone presents, you freak out. On the inside, you have a little small crisis. Very much like people do in these political discussions. It's out of fear. It's because you don't have the skills yet. Not yet, not to a point. Maybe you have better skills now than you did before, but it's not to a point where you know confidently that you can go forward in the sexual marketplace and not get burned. You don't truly have the skills to believe that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a safe world theory that you're clinging to. So recognize that your safe world theory is bullshit. I don't care if it's blue pilled, red pilled, black pilled, purple pill. I don't know if there's a yellow pill. We can throw that in there too. Is there a green pill? I don't know. I don't care what color your pill is, right? I don't care how true the idea is, to be honest. If you're clinging to the idea because you're hoping it'll keep you safe, and you're hoping that reduces your anxiety, and you're hoping that if I just follow this set of rules, if I follow these 12 rules for life, or if I follow these iron rules of Tomasi, which, by the way, the iron rules of Tomasi are great, and you should follow them. I'm not criticizing even Jordan Peterson's rules either. They're great. They're great guidelines, but there is no certainty, okay? The only thing you have is probability and ability to navigate chaos. And what keeps you head above water, what keeps you successful, whether it's in business, finances, women, fitness, life, anything else, is your abilities. If you're lacking in those abilities, then you seek out the information, you start actioning things, and you start getting better. So you have better abilities. The better your abilities are, the more successful you'll be, less apt to running into danger or problems you'll be. And when you run into danger or problems, because inevitably you will, you can handle it. You can come out on top when you run into hardship or bumps in the road. Bad things will happen, and it doesn't leave trauma and scars and a bunch of damage for years to come. You overcome it, you become better for it. That's what happens when you have skills. You won't develop those skills if you're clinging to a safe world theory, even if those ideas are true and based in truth. That's the thing that a lot of you guys are doing. It's very beta. You need to recognize it for what it is. It's not something that dominant alpha males who are at that next level, it's not something that the dominant alpha males do. They don't cling to ideas in an insecure and fearful manner, where if these ideas are challenged, it brings up a ton of anxiety. That's not something that alphas do. That's something that you guys are doing that is very beta. And just because you're red pill, And just because you read a few, red pill, you read Rollo Tomasi, or you've watched me, or you've watched somebody else, and you've gotten good information, just because you've gotten the good information, that doesn't mean that you're going to action that information in the right way. And I'm telling you, if you approach this information like a beta and you cling to ideas, hoping it'll keep you safe, and you make decisions based out of fear, you're going to fail. Well, I urge you guys to abandon your safe world theory and understand there is nothing that's going to keep you safe, man, from women, from the sexual marketplace. You're going to run into problems. What's going to allow you to come out on top and to thrive is your ability and your skills. Hone that. Hone those skills rather than clinging to ideas based off of fear. Thanks again.